Welcome to Craft with Jared. I'm Jared, and today I'm going to teach you how to crochet this granny square.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just want to make it last. Try to let go of the past.
The equipment you're going to need to do this is going to be your crochet hook. I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle. This is going to be used to sew in the ends at the end of the project. Then we're going to need little scissors. You can use regular scissors. I just think that these have a little bit more control and they're not so clunky, but you can use normal scissors. It's not going to change the project or anything. This is just used to snip the wool off at the end of the project. And then the next thing you're going to need is going to be your wool. Sorry, my wool is a little bit messy. I've been fiddling with it this morning. But this is a double knit acrylic wool, and the packaging suggests a size 3mm crochet hook, but I've decided to go with a size and a half up just because I wanted a more looser knit. And so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to chain 3 onto our crochet hook. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer so you can see how everything is done. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to chain on 3 so we can start the project. So why we're going to chain on 3 is because we are going to start in the center of this project. So we are going to make this little center point first. We are going to take our yarn, make a V. So you can see we've got a little V. So what I did was I've got my loose point here, got my working yarn here, and just turn it to make that V. Put both your fingers in. So both my fingers are in, and then I'm going to twist them, and I'm going to grab the working yarn, and I'm going to pull it through. And then you just pull, and then there is your slip knot. Working yarn. And we're going to put the slip knot onto our crochet hook, tighten it, and we're going to start chaining 3. So how we chain 3 is we're going to take our crochet hook, put it in front, twist, and pull. There's 1 in front, twist it through and pull through the loop, in front, twist and pull through in the loop. So now you can see we have got 3 chains. I can show you to see the 3 chains. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. The next thing we need to do is we are going to create the center point now. So what we need to do is take our points of the hook and we are going to put it into the last chain. So you can see I've just put it into the last chain. So you can see where that chain is. I'm going to take the point of the hook and we're going to just put it into the last chain, and we should have 2 loops on our crochet hook. You can see that. There we go. And now we're going to create a slip knot just to join everything. So we are going to essentially now have 1 loop on with a circle at the bottom. So how we create the slip knot is we are just going to take our yarn, twist, pull through 1 loop and the 2nd loop. And now you can see the center point of our work. Okay. Hold it properly. There we go. See the center points of our work. So what we're going to do is we are going to work within this center point. So the first step in actually making the square, so we have this center point now. So now we're going to start by chaining 3, and then we are going to do 2 double crochets. So what we need to do is chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. This is going to be our first double crochet. Then we are going to take the yarn. So we're going to start with our second double crochet, and we're going to do an actual double crochet. So the chaining 3 at the beginning of a row sets the height of your work. So we're going to take our yarn, we're going to go into the center point of the circle. So into the center point, grab the yarn, pull it through. So now we have 3 loops on our 3 loops on our crochet hook. Then the next thing we're going to do is grab the yarn, go through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn, go through the last 2 loops. So now we have our chain 3 and our first double crochet. So let's do another double crochet. We're going to take the yarn, go through the center point of our work, pull the yarn through. So it looks like this. It's got 3 loops on. Take the yarn, go through the first 2 loops, take the yarn, go through the last 2 loops. So now we have our first little square. So we've got our chain 3, double crochet, double crochet. So you can see there's 1 double crochet, another double crochet, and our chain 3. So we have created our first section over here. So now we need to do this arch, and that is done by creating 3 double crochets. So it's not 3 double crochets, it's 3 chains. We're going to chain on 3 next. So we have this little section. Now we're going to chain on 3. So 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to go straight into a double crochet into the center. So grab the wool, go to the center of the work, grab the wool and pull through. So now we have 3 little loops. Grab the wool, pull through the first 2, grab the wool, pull through the next 2. And then there is our next double crochet with the corner and the side of the square. So this is the one side corner, and we're starting our next side. So let's do 2 more double crochets. Grab the yarn into the center, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through. Then grab the yarn into the center, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through. So now we have our corner, 3 double crochets, corner, 3 double crochets. So we're going to chain on 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do a double crochet into the center, next double crochet, and last double crochet. So we can see we've got 1, 2, 3. We need 1 more on the top over there. So we're going to chain on 3, 1, 2, 3. I just want to get my wool. So we got our 3 chains. Then we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, into the center, yarn over, pull through. So we have 3 loops now. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Yarn over, center, yarn over, pull through. So we've got 3 loops on, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So we've got 2 double crochets now. Yarn over, into the center, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. And there's our square. You can see it's already busy making the granny square. So the next step we need to do is we need to create the last corner. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to go into the top. So this is our first chain 3 we made over there. We're going to go into the top chain. So if you can count, there is 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into that third one with our crochet hook. So we're going to go into it. Sometimes it can be a little tight, so just wiggle it around until it gets into it. So we went in. Let me do it again. We've got our chain 3, and we want to go into this the top chain of the first chain 3 we made, which is essentially the first double crochet. So it's in. Then we're going to do a slip knot. So we've got the chain 3 and our chain 3 over there. See, we've got 2 loops. So the slip knot is we're going to yarn over, pull through the first loop, pull through the second loop, and we have a little square. You can see that. So we have essentially made this section over here. So round 2 is we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is our first double crochet. So what you need to keep an eye out for is you can see this chain is next to our double crochets. So what we have to do is chain 1 more. So whenever you chain 3 and it's next to your double crochets, always chain an extra 1. So we're going to chain an extra 1. So we've got 4 double crochets now. So every round will be different. So one round will be, it will be next to your double crochet cluster. The next round it will be in a loop. So then you will chain 3. So when it's next to a double crochet cluster, you chain 4. So now we're going to do our first double crochet into this point. So we're going to do 1 double crochet. So you can see the chain 3 or the chain 4 plus the chain 1 to make it neat there, and then our double crochet. So we're going to have to do 3 double crochets. So we've got 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and we have our first 3 clusters of double crochets. So you can see it's going to get more yarn. So now because we're working on the corner, we've taken a corner away. So what we need to do is add the corner. So chain 3. So whenever you are working within the corner, you'll always do a cluster of 3, chain 3, and then a cluster of 3 in the corner. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, go into that hole, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. First double crochet. Let's do it again. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Last one, yarn over, pull, and then you go into the corner, pull through, then it's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have created that corner again. Chain 1, because now we're going to be jumping over a cluster. So whenever you jump over a cluster, chain 1. So we're going to chain 1, then yarn over, pull through the next corner. So it's going to look like this. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Last one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our cluster of 3, but we're in a corner, so we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the same corner, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do one more double crochet after this one. So you can see now how our square is looking. So what we're doing is we have done 1, 2, but we've still created this hole. So we've got our first cluster, hole, first, sorry, I'm over here. Yeah, first cluster. We're going around like this. So we are on the second row. So it goes around. Let me get more wool. My wool today is a mess. It's not it's not working for me. Look at it. It's all clumpy. It got knots. It fell on the floor and I didn't feel like unknotting anything. So I must struggle. Okay, so we have our corner. So the next thing is we're going to be jumping over a cluster of 3. So we need to chain 1. Wrong way. So we need to chain 1, yarn over, go into the corner and pull through. Yarn over, into the corner and pull through. Yarn over, into the corner and pull through. So now we've taken that corner away, so we need to chain 3. 1, 2, 3 to create a new corner. Yarn over, into the same corner and pull through. Yarn over, into the corner and pull through. So we've got our second double crochet. Let's make our third one quickly and pull through. The more you do this, the easier it gets and the quicker it gets. So you can see we've done 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners. We are going to be doing our last corner now. So we've got our cluster of 3. So what we need to do, chain 1, yarn over and start with our first double crochet. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So now we've taken away that corner, so chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to yarn over into the same corner, yarn over into the same corner. So remember we started off with a chain 3 with this row, and this chain 3 is our third double crochet. So we only do 2 double crochets, then we're going to do a slip knot. So we're going to take our crochet hook, we're going to go into the third chain, 1, 2, 3. So if you can see, 1, 2, 3 into the third chain, and then we are going to pull through that chain, yarn over and sorry, I just got confused. So we're going to go into the third chain, we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through the first and we're going to pull through the second, and then there's our square. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is our first double crochet, and because we are in this hole in front of a cluster of 3, this will be the first double crochet of this cluster of 3. So we're going to yarn over, go into that hole, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, pull through the second 2. So we have 2 double crochets now. Yarn over, into the hole, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So you can see our cluster of 3. So now we need to jump over this cluster. So we're going to chain 1, then we're going to do a double crochet in the corner. Remember, when we get to a corner, we always need to make the corner again. So let's do our 3 double crochets, and I'll show you how to make the corner. So 1, 2, and 3. So we've got our cluster of 3 and we're in a corner. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, because it's going to be the new corner. Then in the same corner where the cluster of 3 was, after we've chained 3, we're going to do another 3 double crochets. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. So you can see now how it is going. So this is our 3rd row. Cluster of 3, jumped over, cluster of 3, we made a new corner, cluster of 3. So it's chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet in the same loop. This corner will have 6 double crochets in it. This hole will have 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets in it, yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is, you can see we've got a cluster of 3, so we need to jump over it, chain 1, yarn on, go through, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. You can see now we've got our next few double crochets in that hole. I just need to fix this yarn, I don't know. When we speed everything up, I'll fix it nicely, so I won't keep getting distracted. So now we're going to go into a corner. So we first need to jump over this cluster. So 1, chain 1, then you go into the cluster, and do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So you can see we're in the corner with our 3 double crochets. So we are at this corner now, so whenever we add a corner we need to chain another 3. So we've got our double crochet, double crochet, double crochet of clusters of 3. So let's chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over into the same hole. We're going to chain, we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So you can see now we have done 2 corners. We've got 1 corner there, and we've got 1 corner over there. So we need to go all the way around to this corner, 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and then we're going to come back over here because we also need to do this corner. So let's go. So we've got a cluster of 3, chain 1, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So we did that 3 in this hole. So we've got a cluster of 3, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the corner hole. 1, 2, and 3. So we've taken the corner away, so chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in back into the corner hole, 3 more, 1, 2, and 3. So now we've got a cluster, so we're doing the side now, and we want to go there. So jump over the cluster, chain 1, double crochets, we're going to do 3, 1, 2, and 3. We've got another cluster, chain 1, jump over into the hole, 1, 2, and 3. Right, so this is our last corner. So you can see I've done 3 double crochets in the corner, so we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do double crochets in the same corner hole. 1, 2, and 3. So we have completed this round. The only thing we need to do is connect this. So we've got a cluster. We need to connect this cluster there. So whenever we get to a cluster of 3, you always chain 1 to jump over it. Go into the top chain of this chain 3 that we created. Push your needle through, yarn over, pull through the first loop, pull through the second loop. And there is our square. So we're going to chain 3. So whenever we get to a new row, you always chain 3. 1, 2, 3. But you can see now we're behind a cluster. So we need to jump over the cluster. So this is the first double crochet for this hole, but we need to go there. So we've got our first double crochet, so 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 1 to jump over. So we're going to chain 4. So whenever you're behind a cluster, chain 4. Whenever you're in front of a cluster, chain 3. So let's start with our first double crochet in this hole. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, first double crochet. So let's do 2 more double crochets, and the last double crochet. So we made our first cluster of 3. Now we've got a cluster, so chain 1 to jump over it. We're going into the corner. So do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 3, remember we're in the corner. You always do 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Now in the same corner hole, where this cluster is, the same corner hole, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see now we've started with our next row where the corner is. So you can always kind of follow your chains like this. So you can see these chains do that. So the next chain will be So this one was a chain 4, the next chain will be a chain 3, chain 4, chain 3 when you go to the next rows. So what we need to do now is we are going to jump over this cluster. So we need to chain 1, yarn over, go into the hole in front of the clusters and do our first double crochet, yarn over, yarn over, and that's where we are. So I have just completed the last corner and I've got one more loop to do. So what we're going to do is, remember when we're jumping over a cluster, we always chain 1, yarn over, go into this hole. I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and we're almost done. There we go. So all we need to do now is connect this cluster with this cluster. So what we need to do is chain 1. So this is our last row. So once this is done, we are completed. But if you always want, you can carry on and you can make it big. I'm going to show you, once I've closed this off, I'll show you the blanket that I created to show you how big you can go. And you can also go longer as well. But let me close this off. So how we close it off is we create a slip knot. So chain 1, go into the top chain of that first chain 3 we created. So you can see we're going to go into this top chain over there. So we're going to just go into the top, yarn over. So you've got 2 loops before you yarn over, 2 loops if you can see that. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through the first loop, pull through the second loop. And now we have 1 loop on and everything is connected. So now what we want to do is we're going to have a tail. So we're going to get our scissors and you're going to just snip off about that much. Just snip it and hold it. So you just snip, and now you've got a loose end. And what we need to do is just take that loose end and yarn over and pull through the loop. And you just pull through the loop and there we go. So we are going to have a square with 1 tail at the end and then 1 tail in the middle. So let's start with the center, sewing in by the center. So we have, just flip your work around and you can see we've got our tail over here. So how I like to do it is I always see where this thread is. So you can see this thread is over here. And then I like just to follow the work up. I mean, if you really wanted, what you could do as well, especially with the center, because it's so small, and because we've crocheted on top of it, and because we made a slip knot, you could just cut it over here. But then there is a risk of the work unraveling. So let's just put some in and then we'll cut it. So what I do is I take my darning needle, and the reason you want a darning needle is because it's blunt, so it won't scag the work. So you can just push it through and it won't scag, it'll go in between the fibers. And we're working at the back of our work, so you don't see it in the front. So we're just going to grab through a few loops and we're going to just go in, so you can see how far I'm busy doing it. And let's maybe go just up that much, it should be okay. And we'll put it through the darning needle eye. I always like to put the needle in first and then the thread, it just makes it easier for me. So we'll go through the darning needle eye. And then we're just going to pull, oopsie daisy, it's a bit thick. Maybe I should use a smaller needle. I'm just going to pull through. like massage your work, and then we're going to just pull it a little bit and cut. There we go. You don't even see it. You don't even need to stretch it. You don't see it. And on the other side of our work, we don't see it. And if we stretch it, we don't see it. Okay. The next one we want to do is this top one. So with this top one, we are going to go to the side a bit, and then we're going to work our way down. So we're going to just go in between the fibers to the side. You can go through like 3. Okay. Let's put our thread through the eye of the needle. Just let me know if you also want me to make a video of how to sew in the tails, like a more detailed one of all the different ways you can do it. Like there's one main way, but there's many different ways, because you would go to the left, to the right, and down. So you always go like in 3 or 2 ways, not just one way. But like the center point is okay because it's in the center, where the sides you kind of need to go at least 2 ways. So we're going to put it through. So you can see the top there, and now we're going to go down. So let's just go down quick. And again, you just need to do like 3 or 4. It doesn't need to be massive because it's such a small square. So you can see I've pushed my loop through and just grabbed a few. And then you can even look on this side. So you can see on the right side if it's going to show, because you would see your needle if it shows. And it doesn't show, so you won't see it on this side. And then this side, you'll see little strands of it. But if you can see in the center, you don't see it because of the way the wrong side looks. It almost looks like it's a knitted pattern. So let's put this through. Get in the hole. We'll go through. And then we're going to pull the needle. Ooh, it's tight. There we go. Okay, let's pull this needle. Right. So you can see how it's bunched up there. All you need to do is just pull it nicely before you cut. Pull it nicely. And there we go. And then let's just snip it and massage it in. There we go. That's how it looks. And that's our square. So you can even make a granny blanket square. You just sew it off, so you can put edges along the edge, or you can just sew it in between. I'll be right back. I want to show you the granny blanket that I've made with just one big granny blanket square. So this is the granny blanket square that I made. So it's just one big granny blanket. Little teddy bear that I made. So if you guys ever want me to do anything other than knitting videos, I can show you how to create this little teddy bear. So that's the end of this video where we created this granny square. Please remember to like this video and share it with people and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.
And headache stack, restlessness to hell and back. What's my